G'day folks, Cortezerino here. I'm here at the Lucky Break game, which once again has been completely emptied out. Now don't get me wrong, I love the people who are using it. Diamonds, awesome. But it's like I refilled this I think 2 days ago and it's already empty. I am thinking that 1 diamond is too cheap. And it's also a little bit small, so it doesn't take that long to be emptied out. And the prizes I've been putting in, like I've slowly been making them worse and worse, but I think Dragon Tech's the only one who's breaking those slabs and everyone else is getting the good stuff. So it's quite easy just to come in here and drop 30 diamonds, break all the slabs and run off with all the loot. So I think I've come up with a solution to this. I'm going to make a lucky break for high rollers. So rather than 1 diamond, it'll be 1 diamond block. Now, I'm still going to keep this one here, the cheap one, because not everyone on the server has a ton of diamonds and a block might be a fair bit to drop just to get a chest full of sandstone or something dodgy. But I think I'll do another great big one. It's got to be another building. I can't just like dig down underneath and put another one there. I've got to do another building, and if this is the cheap one, I've sort of set the standard. I've got to make it a little bit better. And as far as the prizes go, I have been busy. I spent an entire day in real life over at the End Islands collecting heaps and heaps of goodies to put in the high rollers winnings. And I was there for a long time. Even after I decided to come home, I think I found another 6 or 7 end cities before I found the portal home. So plenty of elytra. I had to use that one. My elytra were breaking. Plenty of dragon heads for prizes and plenty of shulker boxes for prizes as well. But they're not all going to be like elytra. I might put like 1 or 2 elytra in there. We'll see how we go. I've got to make it still a bit of a gamble. So, the house. Now, I've got a bit of an idea of what I want to do for the Lucky Break High Roller shop front. I haven't designed anything yet, so I've just got something in mind, and it requires a lot of wool. Now, there are a couple of sheep farms on the server, just small ones, but I find whenever I go over there, all the sheep are coloured the wrong colour for what I want, and I don't want to change them. Because they're obviously coloured that way for their own reason. And I don't want to make another sheep farm. Just because we've already got 2. We don't need another. But there are a couple of spawners really close to my house that I haven't used yet. There's one just here, very close to the surface. That's a zombie spawner. That one has Pac-Man written all over it. So I'm not touching that. But what I'm thinking, for this shop front, I'm going to need a lot of white wool. So I've got a spider spawner that I'm not using, and I think I might go for that one. So I've already got the one that I'm using for XP, but I don't have to sit there and kill them all to get the string to make the wool. But this other one we can just set up as a grinder, and I'll take you down there. So this is the entrance to my base, but if we keep going down to my old mine shaft, I used to hear all this spider noises behind one of the walls here, so I knew there was a spawner nearby. And when I broke through the wall and found him, gosh, it was close, and I'd already lit it up too, so I'd obviously found it when I was doing some caving. But this is where I'm going to get all my wool from, so I'm just going to dig that like below him down a fair bit, and I'm going to use magma blocks to kill them. And the magma blocks, when you place them, they'll pick up a little bit of light from whatever light you have around, so I'm going to drop that pretty low down, so even if they do pick up some light, it's not going to affect the spawn rates. So that'll drop down there, and I'll have a hopper minecart going underneath the magma blocks, collecting all the string, and a line of chests here that the string will collect into. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be AFKing here, I might as well put in an AFK fisher. I haven't gone too hardcore on the design for this, and the actual design for the fisher isn't mine. It's one by Howitzer, and Like, I usually don't do other people's designs, but Howie is a member of the server, so it's allowed. So I've just got his here, and all the goodies from the AFK Fisher will collect in these chests. So I've just got them coming out here. I haven't put it in yet, but I'll just do a little glass item elevator up to that hopper chain and down to there. And I know it's only a small gap for a glass item elevator, but because they're so simple to build now, if it's over 3 blocks tall, I'm not going to do a dropper elevator. I'm just going to do glass. It's so much simpler to put together. So they'll go up there, and on this side I'll have a separate one from the minecart collecting the string coming up this side to another bunch of chests. And I don't like to have my minecarts running all the time, because sometimes when you log out or the chunks unload, it stops mid-track and they're a pain to get to retrieve. So I think I might try and hook it up to the AFK Fisher. Like every time I catch a fish it runs, or every second time it'll launch the minecart. But we'll see. So I'm going to get to work on this, get it done, get a whole bunch of string and some wool, and we are going to make the Lucky Break High Roller. So this looks pretty freaky coming down here now. If I have a visitor, they will probably stop right here and double check before they fall onto that. But here we go. You know, I've made 2 of these cave spider grinders now. One of them was a water trap I did in season 1 of the Diamond Society, and then this one with the magma blocks and the minecart running along. And the drowning trap is a lot easier. much less work goes into it. But I'm sure this one's more efficient because they die straight away, and they're well out of the range of that spawner when they're down there. So I'm not actually getting any string right now because I did rig up the minecart with the hopper to only run when I'm fishing, and it only runs every second thing that I catch. And I'll show you how I did that in a minute, but I've AFK'd for 2 nights. And you see I've got some wool here because I've taken the string out and crafted that, and I've already finished the project that I needed the wool for. So I've got a ton of leftover stuff, and I've taken most of the books out here, but I've got all my AFK fishing stuff. Good to have some name tags. So let's see, I think it's here is how to get behind. And I haven't tidied this up yet because I wanted to show you. So this is how I've got it shooting the minecart off every second item I catch. So basically here's a hopper chain going over to my glass item elevator that collects all the stuff I catch in my AFK Fisher. So I've got a comparator reading every time an item goes through. It'll send a pulse into this little gizmo. Now this is what you use to turn a button into a lever. So basically you have where's the item now? So the item's in the bottom now. And when the signal hits this, comes through the comparator, hits this top dropper, it'll try to fire that top dropper first, and then this one down here second, so that item will come up to the top here, and next to signal, it'll flow straight back down to the bottom dropper. And usually you'd have your comparator coming off this bottom dropper, but I've got it coming off the hopper instead. So you get 1 pulse, this item will come up to here, second pulse, it'll pass through the dropper and send a signal down to my minecart. So every second item sends a signal, and we'll run, this is the glass item elevator bringing all the string up, and we'll shoot down the bottom. Not sure that there's too much of interest to look at down here, and it's a little bit neater. So my minecart's right in there. Pretty basic sort of setup here for the dropper item elevator. Here's where the signal comes down, and it just runs across there, the redstone does, into a torch, and I've left a little viewing platform here. I've got half slabs so the light can't get in and start making these magma blocks brighter, but this is just in case, you know, sometimes the minecart will stop on the track somewhere, even though it's powered, just as you're logging off or logging on, or if the chunks unload while it's running, which is one of the reasons I've got it only running when I'm actually fishing. So I should be there unless the server reboots unexpectedly. So that's the wool problem handled. And you can see a glimpse of what I needed all that wool for just over there. So next to the old lucky break, I've built the new lucky break. Now it doesn't look as pretty as this one just yet because I haven't put in all the details like these lamps and flower pots and vines, and I've got to do something around the ground here. So I've just built the bare basics there, but it is basically a dock for an airship. So there's where all my wool went. And not very much of it. I've still got a ton left. So let's see if we can get a little bit of a better view. That is freaky. That's what happens when you teleport with your camera count to your player. Alright, you wait there, mate. I've actually opened this old lucky break up to everyone on the server, so no one's had a go at it yet, but I let them know that I was going to leave this empty for a little while, so if anyone else wanted to put their gear into there and run their own game, that they could do that. So here's the new one. Just this house was just somewhere for the airship to sit, and it is a ship. Like, it's an actual ship with a balloon attached, and I took inspiration off a picture that I found when I googled for steampunk airships or something of the like. But I've added my own touches to it. So I've got a cool little propeller here and good opportunity to use the end stone. First time I've used it on the server, but I think it looks alright in this build. And yeah, just so we've got a nice little parked airship here. It's not too big and imposing, is it? No, it's okay. And I think it looks pretty good next to the old lucky break there. And it'll look even better once I've decorated the thing a little bit. So not a lot to see inside at the moment, still grass floors, but this is where the lucky break game will go. It's going to be a lot bigger than the other one because I'm putting some pretty expensive stuff in there, so I need to be able to get my money's worth by them missing and getting some of the dud items. But I've just got a few ladders going up to a second floor. This will probably be just storage, but I've made it look okay, I think, and we can continue up. Whoop, into a sort of balcony area and right up to the top here, which doesn't serve much purpose. It's just for looks, and the house isn't complete. Like, other than the decoration, I'm going to build a big sort of doorway in here, I think, coming out from this second floor so you can access the ship itself. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the ship here. I want chicken powder. Actually, don't blow up Traven's wall. Thank you. So, I am going to call this done-ish. There's still a few... Whoa! Finally. Alright, I've surveyed the area a little bit. I think we're good to record. And has anyone had a go at this yet? No. So still nobody's taken up my offer of putting their own stuff in the old lucky break, so I might have to fill that up again myself. But we're going to call High Roller done for the time being. It could probably use a little bit more detail here and there, but you can see I've gone around with a few vines and some strategically placed string and got it looking pretty good. Got a banner and a sign up, and I've just gone around the outside, put in a bit more detail. I figured because I've got the airship coming in, it would be delivering some stuff, so I've got crates and a wheelbarrow and a little bit more around this side. I haven't bothered to detail too much in here because it's against the wall, but yeah, a few crates here. So, Lucky Break High Roller, and this has been going for about 4 days now, and not too many have been broken, which is what I wanted. In the old one, I'd fill it up, and 2 days later, it would be empty, and I'm not sure if anyone's got the elytra yet, but I've put some advertising up here. So these are the things that are in the Lucky Break High Roller. So there's one elytra, one wither skeleton skull, put a dragon head in there. It's pretty useless, but why not if people want it? And there's more than one shulker box. There's probably about 3-4 shulker boxes in here. I can't really remember. But all the prizes are decent enough. Like, they're not going to break it and get a stick. There is some good stuff in there, like you might get 9 stacks of glass or something like that. So it's had a bit of a run, got some diamond blocks going, but yeah, I don't really care about the diamonds. It's more the fun of playing the game, and it's something for the other guys on the server to do. And I've done a bit more upstairs as well. So I've put trapdoors in here because I'm not 100% sure that everywhere is spawn proof up here, so I don't want a creeper dropping down on someone there and blowing up all my droppers. So staircase in here up to the boat. Haven't done a lot on the boat. I'm still not sure what I want to put in here, so I've just got a couple of chests and I've put a proper floor in, which I think it looks pretty cool. And yeah, up the top there I've just added a little bit more detail because it wasn't really popping, but I didn't want to go too hard with it. Well, I've got a carpet in here, so if you come up it looks a little nicer. But just up on the top, I should probably put a trapdoor on that bit of glowstone. But I've just added some trapdoors. You can just see the edge of them on the roof there, just to give a bit more detail. And these lights, the torches in the item frames, just to make everything stand out a little bit more, because compared to that one, it wasn't looking as pretty. But I still might add a little bit more later on. But yes, we're going to call it there for the episode, guys. And hopefully, if you check out some of the other guys on the server, they might show some recordings of them having a go at the Lucky Break High Roller. And we'll see if they're happy with it or not. If they... there's not really good stuff in all of them, because I've got to make my money back for the elytra there. So we'll see how the reaction goes. And I've kept the decoration pretty minimal in here, but I think it looks pretty good. So that's it for today, guys. But there is one last thing that I want to show you, because if you'd watched last episode, you might be scratching your head thinking, gee, Cortez, you said you were going to build an awesome, huge nether wart farm over at your blaze farm. Where is it? That was supposed to be this episode. Well, because it's so big, it's going to take me a while, and I have been working on it, and that's what I want to show you. I've started getting the room together, and it's looking awesome. So I'll leave you with a few shots of that. So cheers from me. I'm Cortezerino. See you later.